Welcome to Rockstar Doctor Life. I'm Alyssa Longo, and each episode, my guests and I will bring you fresh, fun ways to rock your life as a health professional and create a business that aligns with who you are and the life you want to live. Hey friends, hope you're having an awesome day as usual. Today's topic of conversation comes to you from a recent coaching call I had with some badass healthcare professionals who are expanding their influence into the online world. And a big topic of conversation, and I always find it, never a coincidence that all these docs feel the same way at the same time, and it requires our connection with them as their coaches. It's the idea of not being ready or not knowing what you have to share with the world is really going to be well received. And really that comes down to all kinds of headspace challenges, right? That imposter syndrome, not feeling good enough, not feeling confident enough in who you are, your skills, the fear of sharing your ideas with people, and maybe they're going to flop. Maybe they're going to be rejected. Maybe someone's going to talk trash about you. Who knows? We've all been there. And I will tell you, anytime you're ready to launch into something new, you're ready to get uncomfortable and put your ideas out there, it's fucking scary. I've been there so many times. I've been there when I did television shows. I've been there when I let my hair grow out from coloring it to gray that it is right now. I've been there when I launched my first podcast. I've been there when I launched the second podcast, and then I shifted the focus even to include conversations with men. I've been there every time I've launched a new online program. I get those butterflies in my stomach and that fear of, oh my God, is anyone going to care? Oh my God, what if it sucks? And you know what? You push through it. You rely on the people around you for support and to tell you that you got this, to give you that vote of confidence. And then you go through it and do it anyway, because you know what failure does? Failure gives you so much information about what to do differently next time. We have to talk about failing forward. I love the idea of feeling your way forward, using your heart and your intuition and your guidance, your inner knowing to push you forward in areas. But I also love the idea of failing forward. And when I think about what holds so many doctors back from taking a step into a new domain, maybe putting out a new nutritional program, or how to deal with stress, or they've got these passions to just totally create a new idea for children in sport, or how to recover from an injury or an illness, and they really want to take their message to a bigger audience, and they're afraid of what their peers are going to think. They're afraid of what others might think. And really it's about failure, right? We're afraid of failing. We're afraid of being rejected. And I'm not a psychologist. I've hung out with enough of them. I've had a great therapist myself. And what I can share with you is only the truth that I've learned here. And that is that you have to fail to grow. I told my kids this so many times. And I think now at the ages they're at, they understand it. But when they were younger, I used to say to them, I hope you have lots of failures. And they thought I was a horrible mother. But now they recognize that it's only through failure. It's only through difficulties and embracing our imperfections and embracing our insecurities and our doubts in ourselves, that when we rise through them, we find our way and we find the power that's inside us that we've forgotten about. And I'm here to remind you today that power that's inside you, the gifts that only you have to share with other people, is what the world needs to hear. And they need to hear it from you, because I guarantee the way you are going to deliver it is going to be unique. You might be saying the same message about nutrition, about how to manage stress, or how to do a proper yoga pose, or a proper lift if in training, or whatever it is that you help people with. But I guarantee the nuances of your personality, the way you speak, your brand, how you cue people, or just your heart is going to connect with a very specific group of people in only the way that you can. Think about how many books you might have already, novels that you've read, that maybe all have the same kind of theme, but they have a different tone. Or think about, books you've read or podcasts you've listened to or seminars you've been to, and the instructors teach you about one topic. Maybe they teach you about nutrition. Well, they might have a lot of the same ideas, but the way they communicate it or explain it might connect with you a different time and a different way, based on your own readiness, based on your own way that you process information. And you are the same person in whatever area of health and healing you are going to be in, or you are in already. So don't hold yourself back. Trust that you have a message to share. Trust that you are also your brand. And we'll talk about branding on other shows, but I want to remind you today that there is something inside you that is reflected in how you show up and how you teach and how you lead people. And that is exactly what people need to hear. So if you're struggling right now with putting your ideas out into the world, you're on the cusp of something big, you're ready to launch, but you're still holding back, I want to remind you, why does this matter? It matters because you have a message to share, but more importantly, who's going to benefit from that message? And who's waiting to hear that message of hope and healing and ideas that might just change their life? And what's going to happen if you don't pursue your dreams, if you don't share your gifts and talents with the world, who's going to lose? Put yourself right now in that heart space of the mom at home who's struggling with overwhelm and overweight and knows she needs to change her diet or get exercising or reduce her stress level, but she hasn't met you yet and she hasn't heard what you have to say, and so she's still stuck in that overwhelm and anxiety because she hasn't yet heard your message. Put yourself in the headspace of another person who's struggling with something that you went through, that you know you can help them with, and know that their life is going to be different if you are the light for them and you show them one simple tip to get their life moving forward, whatever that is for you in the role in healthcare that you play. You know, I say this a lot to my clients, but when you know your why, everything gets easier. So I want you right now, instead of putting all that energy into the fear around what if no one likes it, what if no one receives it, put yourself into the heart space of who's missing out. Who's missing out from you holding back with sharing your message of health and healing with the world. And I guarantee if you can tap into that energy, it'll change everything. And that is my wish for you, that you hold on to that energy, that you know within yourself there is a message that only you can share. And my wish for you, and my wish for this podcast and the programs I run and working with healthcare professionals, is that I want to see people thrive and be healthier in their whole world, in their life, in their relationships, in their business, in their parenting. And I need your help to do this. So go out there today and do something. Share your ideas with someone, even if it's just one person. Start talking about what you have to give people. And I guarantee if you start sharing it, it's going to get easier to continue sharing it. You'll also likely find that there's some validation for your ideas and there's some support and there's a whole lot of love for it too. But you'll never know if you don't start. So there's your message today, friends. I hope this resonates with you. As always, I'd love to hear from you. Tag me on Instagram or Facebook. Let me know your thoughts. Hit me up with an email if you have something specific. And if you felt this way before, if you felt like you've struggled with feeling like you're not sure about your ideas, feeling that fear of failure, that fear of being criticized by your peers, or feel of any kind of rejection, you've powered through it, I'd love to hear what your tips are so we can include them in an upcoming episode. Have an awesome rest of your day. We'll catch you next time. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Find out more about today's guests and everything else that we talked about in the show notes. You can also find all this content and so much more, including videos, blog posts, and how you can work with me on the Rockstar Doctor Life website. If you haven't yet reviewed the show, we'd love it if you headed on over to iTunes, subscribe, and leave us a review about what your thoughts are about future episodes for the show and what you like best. Feel free to connect with me on Instagram at Melissa Longo DC and of course on Facebook. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time.